Hey, let's see if we're live, and we're going to do some color magic, spell point variant rule, class design stuff using martial powers. We'll be developing Rogue and Ranger subclasses. So looks like YouTube recognizes that I'm here, and signal sounds good. So let's drop volume down so it stays out of the ways. And I'm going to do some social media posting here real quick. While I go through that process, allow me to entertain you with my origin story. So, hey, my name is Phil Kearney. I create role-playing games, I illustrate them, and I publish online. And I have been creating content on DMsGuild since 2017. I've been a freelance illustrator since 1999. I've been playing Magic the Gathering since 1995, I want to say. And I've been a DM playing Dungeons & Dragons since 1987. So when Wizards started creating Magic the Gathering IPs for Dungeons & Dragons, boy, that was exciting, because it felt like it was going to be an opportunity for us to have Wizards say something official about color mana and the color magic and mana from Magic the Gathering, and use that instead of the 8 schools of magic and spell slots, so that you could play Magic the Gathering characters in a Magic the Gathering setting of Dungeons and Dragons. But the philosophy of 5th edition is, if we already have rules that exist, then whatever narrative you come up with, have them boil down to those existing mechanics, so that we aren't creating mechanical bloat that we don't have to playtest. So 3rd edition had so many subsystems and optional rules and layers of resource system management that it could get pretty broken, but boy, it was super fun. So it was really sad that we didn't get the ideas of color mana. So that's what I've been building, the color mana spell point variant rule system that's published on DMsGuild, and it's getting a facelift for 2024. But before we dive into further details, I'm on the X Twitter platform. If you're there as well, I'm at Phil Kearney. You can see the illustrations and stuff that I post, coupons for stuff that I'm doing, works in progress of things that I am working on, and general notifications when I go live. Here on YouTube, I am live 10 days per week. Hit the like button, subscribe, and get notifications of when I am live. I'm here Monday through Friday in the morning doing artwork for the next book I'll publish. On Mondays and Thursday nights like this, when I'm not playtesting stuff, I run streams like this to either do design work or artwork or whatever. On Tuesdays and Friday lunches, I do more development of mechanical design or whatever it is that we're working on. And then Saturday morning is my workbench. I'm either working on commissions, artwork, layouts, or design work, whatever. So if any of this stuff you think is cool, like, subscribe, stick around. I'd love to have you. Today we're working on martial powers. You can see the full playlist of all 160 episodes of us basically building this from scratch here. And playtest content is on my Discord channel. You don't have to be a Patreon member. If you click this button, it'll take you to our playlist. Hey, otherwise, if you click the Martial Powers button here, it takes you to the Google Doc that we've been building all our playtest content for. See, same document. For you, it's read-only. For me, I'm going to write in it today. So it's a half-casting system that barbarians, fighters, monks, rogues, rangers, and paladins make use of. And artificers, they can have infusions that utilize powers instead of spells. And warlocks can learn powers through invocations to spin on their mana pool, because artificers are half-casters, they have a mana pool. Warlocks are half-casters, they have a mana pool. In fact, if you want to see all of the spell point work that I've done, Spell Point Warlocks is now officially a gold bestseller. And you can see the full 5-color mana bundle here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different books. Like this is a great. They all have extensive free previews, so you can totally get how the game works. If you want to buy it at that point, awesome. Bless you and thank you. Here's the color mana system of white, blue, black, red, green. Different keywords that kind of describe what each color is and what types of damage in D&D are associated with the white, blue, black, red, green. So take these keywords like black, like white, for instance, is divinity, healing, protection, restraint, while black, for instance, is control, entropy, fear, soul, and darkness, and green is animal, healing, plants, nature, and spirit. It's like when we look at things like healing, for example, cure wounds. There we go, white and green, right? Healing and divinity and spirit, that makes sense for cure wounds, right? So let's go to 3rd level and look at Revivify. Revivify, white and black, soul, divinity. Yeah, so you can have like Speak with the Dead, white and black, again, connecting with people's souls. Sleet Storm, it's cold damage, white, blue, and green. So whatever makes sense, however many. Like, if we can have something like Elemental Weapon, we have all 5 colors represented because Elemental Weapon can deal acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, and thunder damage. So every single color is present. So pick a color, cast it. If you want to be really strict, you can say, well, I'm not going to cast fire unless I use red magic when I cast it. But that's not technically how it works. You could just spend generic spell points and cast the spell and say that it's fire. You have access to the spell and say you use white because you have white mana. You've cast the spell because you can choose any damage type you want. You can choose fire if you chose, but you could go really hardcore. It's like, unless I use red mana in casting the spell, I can't use fire or lightning. Like, that's a really hard, and the player can decide how hardcore into this that they want to go. The system assumes that you're just going to use generic spell points to spend on stuff however you want. But we add all these layers of complexity and limitation in case that's how you want to play the game. And we can narrate it that way, utilizing all those rules. But we can also just mechanically play with just generic spell points. So it's up to you how deep down the rabbit hole you want to go. The DM could enforce strict mana expenditures, which is fine. Whenever you finish a short or long rest, you get to switch what color all your spell points are. And when you learn a spell, if you have white mana, you can cast a white-based spell. There you go. So it's pretty straightforward. If it's a 3rd level spell, it costs 3 mana. If it's a fireball, that's red. 1 point of red, and the other 2 could be whatever you want, and that's the 3 mana that you need to cast Fireball. When you run out of red mana, no more Fireballs. When you take a short rest, if you have any mana left, put some red back into your pool. Now you can go ahead and cast Fireball again. So, yeah, fun stuff. Very easy, liquid smooth system. I've been using it for years at my home table campaigns, running level 1 to 20. It typically takes about 250 hours. So it's been a freaking gas. I love it. And if we're lucky, some folks will come through and hang out with us and chat and have similar stories of fun. Spellpoint Warlocks. Here you go. Spellpoint Warlocks uses a mana pool. It's a short rest. All of the classes in the martial powers system uses short rest mechanics. And they use the universal spell point system, where 1 point for 1 level, from level 1 to 10. A Warlock gets 1 point at 1st level and ends with 20 at 20th level. We'll have the Eldritch Renewal, or whatever that is, to be able to regain all of your mana once per long rest, starting at 1st level. So pretty easy peasy. Let's knock that out of the way. Okay, cool. So here is the new classes. This is the actual martial powers document. Like I said, everyone's on a half casting progression, level 1 to 5 of power levels. 1 at first, 2 at 5th, 3 at 9, 4 at 13, and 5 at 17, just like a ranger spell progression would be. You prepare a number of powers off the power list. A ranger and paladin can freely mix between powers or spells. Use either one that you want. You start with 4 and you end with 23, but you can also learn feats, weapon masteries, damage types, as well as 0 cost powers that cantrip-like effects like those, and then 100 some odd powers that do spend mana, so you get your mana pool. Everyone's on a short rest, including the paladin and the ranger, and if you're using an artificer and a warlock, again, they are on short rest as well. 1 to 20 mana, 1 at first, 20 at 20th, and they all have means of cheating additional mana back, like the monk has the refresh, where once per long rest you get all your mana back. And then from there, anytime you you roll initiative, you gain a number of mana equal to the max rank of power that you've gained. So at 17th level, you get 5 mana back. That doesn't clip in until 15th level anyway. So at 13th level, you're 4th rank. So starting at 15th level, when you get it, it's 4 mana every time you roll initiative, and at 17th level, it becomes 5. So pretty straightforward. There's empowered actions, where you sacrifice actions during your turn to gain temporary mana to pay for different powers using what action economy is left over. Like, you could use your bonus action to gain a number of points of temporary mana depending on how high of a ranked character you have, and you'd be able to use your action, your movement, or like a use item action economy to spend those 3 points of free mana on as you please. Movement will give you a point, and every time you sacrifice an attack during the attack action, each attack is worth a point as well. So a 20th level fighter, if they take the attack action, they can cash out all of their attacks to get 4 points of free mana that they would then be able to use to spend on a power that requires a bonus action. Or, conversely, the 20th level fighter has 4 attacks. You could burn your bonus action to gain 3 free points of mana that you could spend during any of those 4 attacks, or during your movement if you want. So fun, easy, liquid, smooth system that allows you to. I did this as a means of speeding up your round of combat. Like, if you burn out your mana pool and the DM keeps pushing the team to do more combat, the team is going to have to fall back on action economy. So even though the team has been pushed in their resources, they're going to have generally less action economy to spend during the round of combat. So you can actually keep pace by knocking down monsters, even though you're whittling down your action economy to be able to build up that mana so that you can continue taking on the same level of threats that you had previously, but your mana pool is burned out now. So it's going to take a little bit longer, so you can have shorter battles. So a 2-round battle will take 3 or 4 rounds if they're eating up their action economy like this. It's pretty cool. So you can get used to fast snap battles where it might be a turn or two and then they're back into another battle rolling initiative again. This keeps feeding the mana into their pool. So yeah, the stuff is designed. It was based off of the idea of, what if we had a resource-less Battle Master system? That's kind of where it started. And at the same time, I was looking at, how can I build a mana system so that all 13 classes in D&D use the same resource, which is color mana spell points, so that I could have a Rakdos barbarian with red and black mana mean something to what your character can actually do. So here's a list of all the powers. Again, you can look at this document on my Patreon as well and kick through all these. And then we get down into the different classes, and we've modified the classes. So if a class ability, if a class feature no longer matters because of what the martial power system does, it's removed from the class feature list. If the class feature remains unchanged from the player's handbook, it is listed here on the features list. If a class feature is from the player's handbook but has been modified, It's on the class feature list, and its details are provided down below. So we have a few things that got removed, a few things that have been modified, but for the most part, the features of the barbarian, fighter, monk, rogue, ranger, paladin, they're all unchanged. We're just adding in ways for you to use the class features with the mana resource system, so the classes lean further into this mana idea instead of having various scattered resources. So, Path of Berserker, that's resolved. So we did all of the 4 subclasses that are in the player's handbook for the barbarian. For the fighter, we finished, the barbarian, the fighter. We finished the monk. And we've been working our way through the rogue. I'm not sure how far through. We got through Arcane Trickster, which was fucking great to do. Definitely recommend checking out last session because that was a world of fun. And the assassin turned out super cool. The soul knife we verified. If you fail, there you go. We got through the soul knife. That was also super cool. And, the thief. Grantine. I'd forgotten that we'd finished the thief. Fuck yeah, dude. Then there's the paladin. I don't think I want to play with the paladin right now. I think I'm going to do paladin next time. I wrote that we were going to work on rangers, so let's work on rangers. That's what I wanted to do. Before I move too far ahead, I watched... I don't know the name of Twig's channel, but Twig was talking about changes in equipment in the player's handbook. So I wanted to spend some time here real quick looking at the equipment chapter before we continued on. Weapon masteries, tools, adventuring gear, tools. A tool, there's my timely timer, keeping myself on track. So a tool helps you make specialized ability checks, craft certain items, or both. A tool's description, specialized ability checks. A tool's description includes the tool's cost and weight, as well as the following entries. Ability, the entry lists the ability to use when making an ability check with the tool, which they've codified which ability scores you're supposed to use with which skills, but I hate that. Maybe you could have like a suggested ability modifier. Like this would be the suggested one. But I believe that you should be able to use tinkering tools, for instance, with intelligence or dexterity when you're taking a device apart or putting something together or disarming a trap, for instance. It shouldn't just be dexterity. Utilize. So ability, the entry tells you which ability. Utilize this entry. This entry lists things you can do with the tool when you take the utilize action. You can do one of those things each time you take the action. This entry also provides the DC for the action. And craft. The entry lists what, if anything, you can craft with the tool for crafting, mostly crafting equipment. And then variants. This entry appears as the tool has variants, which are listed. Each requires a separate proficiency. Interesting. Okay, let's see some examples. Utilize, identify substances, or start a fire. Brew a supply, detect poison drinks, or identify alcohol. Craft an antitoxin. Spell scroll, craft ink. Write text with impressive flourishes that guard against forgery. Nice. Seal or pry a door or a container. Cool. I like that. Cartographer tools. Draw a map with a small area of a small area. Cobbler's tools. Modify footwear to give advantage on the wearer's next dex acrobatics check. Modify footwear to give advantage on the wearer's next dexterity acrobatics checks. Just one. The next. That's weird. What do I do to my footwear that makes it get advantage on acrobatics that then no longer functions, that I could then do again to repeat the benefit. That seems really weird. Like, really weird. Improve food's flavor or detect. I would say like negate difficult terrain or something. But what else? Improve food's flavor or detect spoiled or poisoned food. Glass blower. Discern what a glass object held in the last 24. That's cool. Jeweler's tools. Discern a gem's value. Like that. Leather worker's tool. Add a design to another item. Okay. Chisel a symbol or a hole in a stone. Paint a recognizable image of something you've seen. Discern what a ceramic object held in the past 24 hours. Neat. Pry open a door or container. I haven't seen any alternates yet. Or variant. Assemble a tiny item composed of scrap which falls apart in 1 minute. Mend a tear in clothing or sew a tiny design. Carve a pattern in wood. Other tools. Disguise kit. Apply makeup. Mimic 10 or fewer words of someone else's handwriting or duplicate a wax seal. That's cool. Gaming set. Discern whether someone is cheating or win the game. Variants. Oh, I see. Variants of what the tools are. So the variants are dragon chess, playing cards, 3 dragon ante, dragon chess. Got it. Musical instrument variants. Okay, this all makes sense. Play a known tune or improvise a song. Identify a plant. Plot the course. Or determine position by stargazing. These are all really cool. Detect a poison object. Thieves' tools. Pick a lock or discern a trap. Okay. Adventuring gear. Bunch of stuff. When you take the attack action, you can replace one of the attacks with... Wow, this is all really useful stuff. I suspect I could fish out some additional powers by chewing through the list of equipment. If all of them have things that they can do. Antitoxin as a bonus action. You can drink a vial of antitoxin to gain advantage. Yeah, okay. Potion? Is potion in here? You take the attack action and treat it like alchemical fire. Lamp. Lock. Here's advantage on ability checks. This is all super fun. Is useful for personal cosmetics, but also for peeking around corners and reflecting light as a signal. Net. Attack action, you can replace one. Okay, so we're going to have to go through. We're going to have to suss out what all can you replace an attack with. And that also includes shove and grapple. What gives you advantage on ability checks? What can be done as a utilize action? Attack action, utilize action, bonus action. So I guess we should start writing this stuff down. Jesus. Oh, jeez. So let's go into... This all sounds like... these are all exploits that generally modify die rolls and action economy. So, yeah. Freaking brilliant. What tools use, what tools and what options and tools use attack action, use bonus action, use utilize action. Fuck you guys, that language is horrible. Grant advantage. Have a DC 1, 2, 3, 4. So those are the 5 modifiers that I can see that exist, that are relevant. Like we can have something like when you're using a tool to when you're using equipment for an effect with a DC, you can spend power dice equal to the amount of mana that you spend, keep the highest result, and add it to the DC and add it to your check in resolving that. Like for example, if writing, like performing a new song is a DC 15, right? When you're using a musical instrument by expending power, you can add power dice to the die roll that you'll make to hit that DC 15. For instance, it's a little redundant with empowered abilities, because ability checks can add power dice that you get advantage for whatever ability you choose as a sustained effect, and then you can spend mana at will to roll additional power dice. So maybe that's redundant, but like things that require like equipment and items that can be consumed, which use a bonus action, you can use that like as an object interaction instead for a point of mana, for instance. Like swift tools, I think that already exists. So, but if we see a commonality amongst like when you throw a weapon, like when you throw a grenade-like effect, when it hits, you can apply a strike power to it, for instance. So we'll be looking at these, not right now, but I wanted to make that list before I forgot about it, because that was something that was on my mind. Map, mirror, net, oil, poison. Yeah, basic poison. Pull. Make it strength check. Oh, you need athletics. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, potion, healing. As a bonus action, you can drink it. Okay. What about antitoxin? Is that as a bonus action I can drink antitoxin? That would make sense, right? As a bonus action, you can drink antitoxin. So there must be like little vials that you just pop. I like it. All right, let's get into the thick of it. I'm happy with the tools and equipment. That is something I want to come back and visit. Not only does it help me become more familiar with how the 2024 system works, but it gives us an opportunity to further measure the martial power system as it stands against what we can actually do in the game now. So very valuable, but that is not today's conversation. We'll probably be doing that on Thursday night or Saturday morning. I'm not sure which. For now, we're going to let's go here and then go here. Swap those. Let's go back to the Ranger. So we need to go up here. We want to grab the scaffold for our Ranger. Let's drop down here to the Ranger. Bold and bigly. Come on. There. The mouse gets goofy. Good. Excuse me. Eye boogie. There we go. Level 1. Level 13. Fighting styles. I've gotten through 80 pages of the Eberron adventure. It's a total of 95 pages, but I've gotten through 80 of them in my first pass. Then we'll be doing refining, but it's working out. So I'll be showing y'all the layouts for that probably, I reckon, next week. I'll show you the preliminary look at how it's coming along, but it is definitely coming along. So, okay, here we are with the Ranger. Let's see. Max rank, prep powers, mana. We don't have sneak attack, but is there anything in the Rangers list I should be looking at? Hold on. Blip. Ranger. Rare. You always have the Hunter's Mark spell prepared. You can cast it twice without expending a spell slot, and you regain all expended uses of this ability when you finish a long rest. The number of times you can cast a spell without a spell slot increases when you reach certain ranger levels, as shown in the favored enemy column of the Ranger's feature table. That makes no sense. Like why they did the name like that. It's weird. Okay. Okay, cool. So I can just basically eliminate that, because what we do instead is Hunter's Mark is now a sustained effect. It's not a spell that requires concentration anymore. It is a sustained effect. Whenever you finish a short rest, you get a free point of mana to spend on Hunter's Mark, on Mark of Prey. We call it Mark of Prey now. You get 1 point of temporary mana to spend on Mark of Prey. You turn it on. You leave it on all day if you want. If you don't want it, fine. You still have the point of temporary mana to spend as you please. And that's starting at level 1. But it does require you to sustain it. And it does require a bonus action for you to choose a target. And whenever something dies, it's sustained, but you would again have to use a bonus action to switch targets. Eventually, once you get a high enough level, you don't have to use the bonus action to switch targets anymore. And as always, sustained effects don't require concentration. You just turn them on and they stay on. They are self-buffing spells that just last until you start a long rest or it's dispelled. So very simple. I mean, you could define it as like a persistent magical effect like that, but it's technically not concentration, and you're technically not casting spells. So the barbarian's good. That's all we did that for. But yeah, from that the sustain system arose, and I love it now. It's so simple. Like all these effects are so simple and basic. So. Favorite enemy is no longer a thing. Weapon mastery is also no longer a thing. Spellcasting, channeling. There you go. So channeling and spellcasting. That's all the ranger has. Channeling and spellcasting at level 1, and then at level 2 they have Deft Explorer. There are unique ranger fighting styles that we get access to at 2nd level. So that is why I am mentioning it there. It is relevant. That reminds me, what was the name of the rogue power that we created? I shot past it. Here we go. Steady aim. Cunning power. Thank you, timely timer. 9. Cunning power. Power over precision. Cunning, powerful sneak attacks. There it is, powerful sneak attacks. Optional class feature, powerful sneak attacks. Subclass feature, comma, powerful sneak attacks. Cunning power, comma. You don't get them for free. That seems to be what's being implied here. So I don't want to do it like that. Yeah, but the moral of the story is that we give you special powers there. Did we add whirlwind attack to the monks list at 6? Powered strikes, subclass feature. Whirlwind attack 2. And then martial arts still exists. Uncanny metabolism still exists. Deflect attack still exists. Monk maneuvers. Good. Hey, what's up? Nightmare Warden, great name, man. for attacks, bonus attacks, and reducing speed to 0. Yeah. Temporary mana that only works. Yes, it only works on martial powers. So you can't just multi-class and dip into it as a 1-level dip for your wizard to have infinite mana. No, fuck you. Does not work. There is a strong wall between powers and spellcasting. You can blend your mana pool together and spend points on whatever you want. But a 15th level, like a 10th level fighter, 10th level wizard has 10 levels of spellcasting and 10 levels of channeling powers. And neither one of them cross at all, except the exception to this is the Ranger, Eldritch Knight, and Arcane Trickster. The Eldritch Knight has, at 7th level, when they get Warcaster, they can use their action economy to spend on spells that they get specifically from Eldritch Knight. And the Arcane Trickster at 9th level gains, cunning magic, and can do the same spells that they specifically learned from Arcane Trickster. And for the Rangers starting at level 1, you can use action economy on any spells that you know, but only Ranger spells. So like 2024 does a really good job at siloing and making language usage of this affects your sorcerer spells or your warlock spells or your Eldritch Knight spells, like the spells that actually the language for Eldritch Knight is your wizard spells, which isn't a kind of a loose term, but they're trying to say is the spells that you get from Eldritch Knight you can use to replace an attack with, for instance. It says your wizard spells. That's a gray area between wizard spells you gained as a wizard and wizard spells you gain as an Eldritch Knight. Technically they would be the same, but the way that we do Eldritch Knights and Arcane Tricksters is you can pull spells from anywhere. There you go. So you could have a mix of cleric, druid, and sorcerer spells, kind of like what they were talking about doing with the bard for 2024. Here, I'll show you real quick. And thanks for asking a question. That's a great question. Let's go down to the color mana system here and look at it on DMsGuild. And let's go down to Knights and Tricksters, and we'll be again updating all of these books with the 2024 mechanics. Oh, that's actually interesting. You can see here like this has been updated. So you can click on older versions of the book and you still have access to them. So when we update this for 2024, you can still access the original 2014 rules. But man, I am really excited about diving in on this. But this was the original mana system when each spell was only dedicated to a single color. We've since then evolved that because we needed more flexibility in the mana pool. As I played it for a number of years, I saw that kept being an unnecessary bottleneck. So we opened up spells potentially having multiple colors. So when we rebuild all of these books, we'll be integrating that. But as you can see here, all the spells of all the classes are available because these guys are such minor casters. You can blend and make your own pool, your own spell selection out of all of the spells that exist. So it's really cool. You don't have a lot of power, but it's incredible. A lot of spell casting, but it's incredibly versatile. And I absolutely love that about this system. I just fucking love that. So yeah, the Eldritch Knight will be able to use their mana on any. Just to revisit, you can see this in the last session, but since we're here and I have to scroll past it anyway, to get back to the ranger that we're working on here. You can see here that the list of bonus spells that the Arcane Trickster is choose 2 cantrips and choose 2 level 1 spells. And then as you gain levels, you'll get access to higher level spells. And every time you gain a level, you can swap all the spells that you know, including at the new level that you've learned it. So you can on a long rest, you can swap powers that you know from your stack of powers, but the special list of spells that you get are your bonus powers, and you can swap them all when you finish when you gain a new level. So normally you can't swap bonus powers. The powers that you have are permanently on your list. But because of the way the Arcane Trickster and the Eldritch Knight are designed to be able to use any spell in the game if they're able to cast it, and it works on a different progression system than half casting does, it's easier just to give them, it's like, here, just learn spells, here you go, don't worry about it. And just give them that fat pocket, which is essentially what they would get anyway if the power system didn't work. Basically, these are the bonus spell lists that the Eldritch Knight and Arcane Trickster get. So, yeah. Does that feature interact with any magic items that you have designed? Mainly magic weapons, instead of generating 1, 2, 3 when you sacrifice an attack gain. I have not implemented empowered actions off of items yet. There are power crystals that an artificer can create as an object infusion that'll store a number of mana equal to like up to 6, like anywhere from 2 to 6 mana. Technically, it progresses with your proficiency bonus, but that's just a coincidence. It's technically the max rank of power you've gained as an artificer plus 1 is the amount of mana that gets stored, like by infusing. By using this infusion, you basically draw mana from the world and condense it into a crystal, and then anyone that has that crystal at any time, they can burn it for mana. So, and an artificer can have up to, I think, 6 infusions at once, like have created 6 infusions, which ends up being at 17th level, 8 times, it's 48 mana that an artificer can just basically has as basically like as mana potions. So, so far that's the only item. But a lot of the magic items are we call it power gear. So the power gear that's here, a lot of it gives you mana for free. So you can either have an ability that you spend mana on, or you can have like a lower rank ability that pays for itself, but you can invest more mana into. So like if a cleric were to pick up like a sword of flaming strikes, it would automatically deal 1 power die of damage because a cleric is using it. But if a ranger picked it up who can channel and was 17th level, sure, the thing gives you 1 point, but then I could dump in another 4 and kick it up to a 5th rank power effect. So that point of temporary mana is like when you use this power, you gain the whatever the minimum amount of mana it is that you need. Or if you have it without a battery attached to it, you have to spend your own mana. It becomes less expensive. So like an uncommon item that has a battery supply, so it works at the minimum automatically that you could then juice up, that would be like a first rank power, for instance. But like a common magic item would be like, yeah, this thing you can see in the dark if you know how to channel power. If you don't know how to channel power, it's basically just really thick glasses. So up to you. So like you have those 2 tiers. So a first rank non-powered item can be common magic, incredibly easy to have access to, and in the game everyone uses a mana system. So a lot of these magic items you can just have tons of magic items laying around because they just become basically extra powers or extra spell-like effects that characters can get access to if they're willing to spend their mana on it. So it's a way for a DM to give you a lot of cool stuff without actually increasing your power, just your diversity, just the options that you have to use with the power that you already possess. So it's a lot of fun. It's a really good way to work it, and that's another thing that I'm looking forward to updating in the core mechanics, the magic items that way. So, but yeah, the big cool thing that Ranger gets is the Mark of Prey. That's basically a first rank sustained power that they get for free. They still have to sustain it, but they basically don't have to pay for it. That they can hinge a lot of stuff off of. And then the other thing they have is that any spell or power that they have, they can spend their action economy on it freely. A paladin can't. A paladin has to spend actual mana to cast actual paladin spells, but the paladin has lay on hands, which for every 5 hit points of lay on hands you forego, you can instead heal 1 point of mana. So at 20th level, they'll have 100 mana. They can repair, quote unquote, or heal up to 20 mana through laying on hands over the course of the day. So they have a really thick battery that rangers don't have access to. Artificers can create power stones to regain mana. Paladins are living batteries. Rangers don't have either one of those things. So they have the ability instead to be able to freely mix their mana pool with any kind of spells that they know as a ranger. So, and the paladin doesn't have a lot of spells. Once you peel out all the smite spells and replace them with the strike powers, there's not a. It's basically healing magic, and some protection stuff and utility stuff that the paladin has left over. The ranger has a lot of spells that are damage or damage buffs that basically allows them to like compete with the paladin, the amount of damage that they can deal under normal circumstances. So like having lightning arrow is a cool way for your ranged character to be able to crack something 120 feet away, with a lightning bolt. That's a really cool thing to do. So them being able to loop that stuff in, like a paladin can smite forever because a paladin can burn a bonus action to gain mana, striking things with attacks like normal. You could also, as a paladin, sacrifice your bonus action to gain additional mana on top of a strike that you're already punching. It's a little different. It's a subtlety, but it's different. By spending mana on a strike power and then using your bonus action over the top, you can deal extra dice of damage on top of that strike power, as opposed to just sacrificing your bonus action to gain power that you would then spend on attacks. It's slightly different, and I suspect playtesting is going to say that the difference is so small it's not important. But the scaling, well, I don't know. The scaling for a paladin should be when they get smite, which is at second level, and then at 11th level to get the extra die. So the scale is 9, 11, and then and then 20. 20 still works. Okay, so we can just adjust it so like you use the same power curve as the bonus action empowered, but at second level you can add that bonus damage. Instead of hitting your cap, you can now push your cap past it by that much. Like when you use this mana as a when you use this bonus action to fuel a strike power as a ranger, you can overclock. So like at second level, you can do 2 mana instead of 1. At 11th level, you can do 4 mana. You can do 5 mana instead of 3. Yeah, that'd be 11th level. Yeah, 5 mana instead of 3, which still so far tracks with where the paladin is at. And then at 20th level, it would be 3 mana plus the 5. You could have a total of 8 dice. But you're 20th levels, who fucking cares? At that point, wizards are destroying reality. So you can deal an extra die of damage. I'm okay with that. That actually tracks, and that simplifies the whole affair. So I'm really happy with that. But yeah, so that's the paladin gets to blend their bonus action into their strikes so they can overclock their strikes. The artificer again gets to create mana. The paladin also gets to heal mana. So the ranger, their edge is basically the free use of hunters of Mark of Prey all the time, and the ability to freely mix their mana into their spellcasting. So we have language for this. Let's go back up into the rogue. And thanks for asking these questions, because it gets me. I have these conversations with myself while I'm pacing around the yard or whatever, because I have to vocalize it for me to be able to understand how mechanics work. It's one of my curses. New feature, trickster magic. You sacrifice action economy to generate. There you go. Spell features. Let's see. So we go back down into the ranger. We have channeling, spell casting. New feature. Variants. Level on variant spellcasting with power. In addition, when you sacrifice action economy to generate temporary mana, you can expend that mana to cast one of your ranger spells instead of channeling a power. Bam! Bob's your uncle. Easy peasy. All right, now we can continue getting through the thick of it. I have to clean up this table, so let's get rid of this. I see text. I am interested in reading it. Give me a second here. Delete the column. There we go. Power die is good. Max rank, good. We don't need... Yeah, so we don't need to give you a bunch of castings of a spell that you have to concentrate on, because we rebuilt it as to be a mark of prey. But I do need to go through all these things. Hey, what's up? Yeah. Thank you for that. What a power item shield could do. Whatever you want. I mean, there's a lot of defensive powers that you could rack up on. Like, if you don't know, you really should know, because it sounds like you're interested. One, I'm gonna be playtesting in November in a hex, basically in a mega dungeon crawl. But the martial power playtest content is on my Patreon here. You don't have to be a member to access this, but you're certainly welcome to spend the buck or more if you want, and bless you if you do. But for you, this will be a read-only document. But it's here for you, so there you go. So this was on the Martial Powers button here on Patreon, which you can access here on the Martial Powers playtest content. So the entire document that I'm working on right now, you have access to, and you'll have access to the full list of powers. Starting on page, that's my timer, just make sure I don't fall into a pocket. So the list of powers, there's 178 of them, starting on page 8. And we're still working. I'll probably need to update the power gear information, but spellcasters, that's old information that we can get. Here we go, power gear. Power gear starts on page 64. So you can see how mana crystals work. If you wanted to make it black mana specifically, it could be like, for instance, an onyx crystal. You could have an onyx mox, like mox, yeah. Anyway, mox. Power gear here, common. The way that, we need to update this, but the way that it currently works, like combat masteries, damage types, feats. It would be feats. An item that is enchanted with the power that requires mana can be used a number of times per long rest equal to the attuned creature's proficiency modifier minus the rank of power. For example, a second rank character with a PB +2 attuned to an item with a first rank power can use the power one time. A 17th level character with a PB +6 can use the power 5 times. If the attuned character has the channeling class feature, they can spend mana to use the item additional times, spending mana as normal to do so. Power dice rolled when using an enchantment item is always a D4 unless the creature using the item has the channeling class feature. They can roll a power die as normal. So like that cleric, for instance, using a burning sword, the extra damage, this is going to be a D4 for that cleric because he doesn't channel power. I do need to update this, but there's enough here for you to fuck around with and build stuff with. So we have random gear generator here with different types of weapons and armor and stuff. We have a few short examples of things that were built that probably need updating because I suspect some of these powers don't exist anymore. They've been replaced. But here's a very rare shield. +2 requires attunement. Portable battlement. This shield has the appearance of a castle battlement forged from mithril. While attuned to and wielding the shield, you gain the following powers. You gain the Fighter Initiate Protection feat. You gain the Interpose reaction, which allows you to soak damage for an ally that's within reach. You can evade damage. This should actually be roll with the hit. That was changed. Roll with the hit. Basically, that allows you to spend mana to basically gain uncanny dodge. So you can reduce the damage that you take from a hit by half. And then defense barrier, we pushed that to a 3rd rank reaction. But defense barrier basically creates a shield that gives you full cover against whatever attack is coming in. So pretty fucking dope. But yeah, this is a good stack of powers that you could have. And a 3rd rank power has to push it up from, yeah, very rare. It's a very rare item. So is it listed as, yeah, very rare. Shield +2 requires attunement. There you go. So you could use these as, you'd have a number of charges equal to your proficiency bonus, basically, to be able to make use of these things. 1 charge, 2 charges, 3 charges. So a 1st level character could use this shield, but from the rules above, they would only be able to use interpose. By the time they get to 5th level, they would be able to use. Yeah, 1st rank, and then this is a. They'd have to be. It's their rank. Is their proficiency bonus -2, or -1. So they have to be 9th level to make use of this. No, that doesn't make any sense. That's broken. No, yeah. So 1st level, they'd be able to make use of that. At 5th level, they'd be able to make use of that. And then at 9th level, they'd be able to make use of that. I like that idea. That's a different way of spinning. I'm kind of weaving ideas here with you on the fly. Because there's those different ways of measuring it. Like to further lean into like only channeling characters can make use of this stuff. Yeah, like that cleric, a 9th level cleric would be able to use like defense barrier once per day. And then all they would be able to do with it from then on is use fighter initiate for the rest of the day. Or the protection feat. Or they could use like interpose 3 times. Or they could use roll with the hit once and interpose once, and that would burn them out. Because their 9th level proficiency bonus is 4. It's +4 -1 is 3. So that gives them basically 3 charges worth of mana for that item to use. So if that makes sense. No, don't worry about it, man. It's just a way. It's just a way to be able to show appreciation. So if you buy my books, then that's great appreciation. If you have bought all my books and you want to keep giving appreciation, then being a Patreon member is useful as well. So all on you, my guy. So a paladin cannot stack. Martial power. B, dump mana into a weapon powers effect. C, smite via his bonus action paired with a weapon attack. All for 20 plus damage dice. 20 plus damage dice. No. Okay, so a 20th level character could has 5th rank powers because they're 17th level, so that's 5 dice. They could then use their bonus action and sacrifice that to gain 3 mana as well. So that takes them to 8 dice, plus whatever their proficiency, plus whatever the weapon damage is. And then that's it. So they're at 20th level. At 17th level, they'd have 9. They'd have 7 at 17th level. At 11th level, they would have 1, 2. They'd have 5. At 13th level, they have 6. At 11th level, they have 5. At 9th level, they would have 4. At 6th level, they would have 3. At 5th level, they would have 2. Second level, first level, they have 1. Second level, they have 2. 5th level, they have 3. 9th level, they have 4. 11th level, they have 5. 13th level, they have 6. 17th level, they have 7. And 20th level, they have 8. If they burn their bonus action to create mana on top of maxing out the amount of mana they can spend on a strike power when they make the attack. Since they only get 1 bonus action per turn, they could technically break up that 3 points of mana if they have 2 attacks. Say their 11th level, and they get 2 mana for their bonus action. They also have 2 attacks per round as their attack action. If they burn their bonus action, and if they hit with both attacks, they can put 3 points of mana into the strike like normal for each attack. And then since they burn their bonus action, they can put 1 point in each attack or 2 into 1 if they want. So hopefully that's not too confusing. But you can basically do that anyway. But the paladin can overclock. So like if your 9th level fighter burned their bonus action to gain 2 free points of mana, they could put those 2 points of mana towards a strike power. But since they're 9th level, their cap is 9, right? So an 11th level, they only have access to 3rd rank. So they can't put more than 3 mana into a strike. The bonus action gives them 2 free points at 11th level, but they'd still have to spend a point, and then they're capped at 3. But the paladin doesn't have that cap. So they can have their 3 points of mana at 9th level and the 2 points they get at 11th level for the bonus action for a total of 5 dice, which is technically no better than what they're already doing with your bonus action as a paladin, because you get the free die all the time at 11th level with the current system. You get the 2 dice worth of damage when you use Divine Smite already, and you can pump into at 9th level up to a 3rd level spell slot. So 3rd level spell slot equals 4 dice plus the die you get for being 11th level because of paladin. That's still 5 dice that you're doing, and it's a D8, which is exactly the same that your character would be doing at 11th level anyway. So it's just a different way of reconfiguring the amount of damage that you're going to do that works with the power curve that we actually already have. And in the end, at 20th level, they get an extra die. So, which is fine because they took the cap off of what level spell slot you can use with Divine Smite. So you could have a 2nd level paladin, 18th level cleric dump a 9th level spell slot into a smite spell and do 11 dice worth of damage with it if that's how you wanted to spend your 9th level spell slot. But you can. So the paladin with this bonus action system almost gets there. You get the 8 dice, but you can do it every round that you're willing to dump mana into it. So I'm ranting about that a little bit, but it's a different way of thinking about 5e mechanics. So I think it warrants reiterating over and over and over again until I can burn it into my own brain to make it easier to burn into your brain. So, and that's why we'll hire an editor to help make sure that we make all these things word good. This is the Roger progression table. All right, what we're going to do right now is we're going to duplicate a bunch of stuff. We don't need favorite enemy because I guess we should mark channeling, spellcasting, mark of prey. Spellcasting is still there, mark of prey now. And the weapon mastery, we don't provide weapon masteries. We give you four prepared powers at 1st level, of which you can learn weapon mastery. You could learn a combat mastery, so you could use that mastery with literally any weapon you're proficient with. But the kicker here, the bonus, the good news, is that if you're proficient with a weapon and you can channel martial powers, you automatically can use the weapon mastery associated with that weapon. While a cleric can't. A cleric is going to have to actually spend the proficiency bonus, or is going to have to spend the feat to learn how to use the push with his maul, for instance. Or you could do a level dip into fighter or paladin or anything and gain 4 powers at 1st level to pick up any number of weapon masteries or damage type or feats that the cleric would find useful at 1st level, the same as Marshall can. You just sacrificed your 20th level spells, your 20th level spellcasting progression to pick up a couple extra feats. Awesome. Now you can focus on your ASI, and now you can if you're going to actually pick up and whack something with a hammer, then go ahead and push them. That's cool. So I'm fine with that. You gain that stack of. Oh, actually, that's a really fucking great question. Let's go to the Ranger and see. What do you get? I know they have a thing about multi-class. There we go. Hit dice, proficiency with martial weapons. and proficiency with one skill. There. So you gain proficiency with martial weapons. And if you have the channeling class feature, that proficiency grants you weapon masteries with each weapon, their native single weapon mastery. So, there. I think we're all becoming rangers. Deft Explorer still exists. And the Ranger fighting styles, those exist down below as a variant feature. Ranger subclass still exists. Steady aim is from the Rogue, so we get rid of that. ASI, yes, extra attack, and that's all they get. Extra attack. And we already have the action economy built into the channeling class feature, so I don't need to mention them over and over again as they level up. Roving. That's useful. Roving. Subclass feature. ASI. Expertise. Almost done. 10. Tireless. Subclass feature. 12 ASI. Relentless Hunter. Nature's Veil. Subclass feature. 16 ASI. Precise Hunter. Feral Senses. And Foe Slayer. Foe Slayer still exists. Let's go to the front end, because that chunk of text that is cut out explains, some stuff is here, some stuff's been changed, some stuff is gone. It's a good place to put that is at the beginning of this section. Let's see, power characters. Class features that are unchanged are listed in the class feature column. Class features listed in the corresponding column of each character progression table, detailed below. Many class features have been altered or removed. Many class features are changed, are modified, or removed from a class when using martial powers. If a feature is not listed on the table, that feature has been removed. If a feature is on the list but not detailed further in the class description, it is unchanged. If a feature is listed, if a feature on the list is on the list on the table, yeah, I don't need that. If a feature is listed, I see some text, I'll catch up with you in a second. If a feature is listed and detailed further below, it is either a new feature or a a variant of an existing feature. There, that's basically the way that it works. So this would be, if I'm going to break down where all these things are, this would be class features, class level, almost there with you, buddy. Class level, class features, power die. Oh, wait. Thank you, Timely Timer. Max rank. Is that where that is? Thank you. What's up? Yeah. Cool. Oh, shit. Thanks. Yeah, I need to update that. Good eye. Appreciate you. Rogue level. I'm sure they all do that. Come on, turkey. Back to the Ranger. We'll do Paladin after we finish Ranger. And it doesn't look like we're going to finish Ranger today. Roger. We'll get as far along as we can. So it's not a race, that's for fucking sure. Alright. Channeling, spellcasting, market prey. I need to look up all what the Depth Explorer is, and I'm going to go with Ranger subclass. I think I fixed it already, right? Yeah, they all have a double L. I have to go back through and fix that. Okay, cool. Let's go through the features to make sure that everything still jives, and we may have some ways to twist and bend them a little bit. The Ranger has a lot of stuff twisted and bent to it. So, favorite enemy is already gone. Weapon mastery is gone. It's been subsumed by powers known. Depth Explorer. Thanks to your travels, you gain the following benefits: expertise. Choose one of your skill proficiencies with which you lack expertise. You gain expertise in that skill. Languages. You know 2 languages of your choice from the language table. Okay. I have no reason to change that. it's listed here, we're done. Fighting styles, gone. You learn 2 druid cantrips of your choice. We should include Druidic Warrior. Mark of Prey. Powered attacks. Level 20 variant feature. And I have Conclaves of Power, which is going to be super fucking fun. Ranger fighting styles. Dual wielding, Ranger prowess. You gain some basic functionality at 2nd level when you get access to this. This is level 2 Ranger, thank you. And then it upgrades at 6th level as a Ranger, and then it upgrades at 11th level as a Ranger, as almost like these fighting styles are cantrips. Yeah, range prowess at 2nd, 6th, and 11. I was thinking about bringing them in at 2nd, and then 6th, and then 10, but just didn't feel right at the time. Let's take a look at where we're at. Again, tireless versus a subclass feature. Maybe it should be 10. 2, 10, 14, 18. I can't justify stacking any further. But this is level 2. Level 2. Oh wait, I already have levels up there. I can do that. 2, 6, 10. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Because they get their archetype at, well, they get an archetype at 6 as well, don't they? Yeah. Oh, fuck it. Okay, and then we have Druidic Magic. That actually fits in here. Let's see. Rangers have a short list of fighting styles they can choose. Rangers gain access to unique fighting styles they can learn. Instead, they can prepare in addition to the list of fighting style feats in the player's handbook. Let's do it like this. Normally you don't start with a preposition, but I'm okay with it. In addition to the full list of fighting style feats in the player's handbook, Rangers gain access to unique fighting styles. Fighting styles they can prepare with martial powers. They can prepare as martial powers. Druidic, what's it called? Druidic Warrior, dual wielding, and ranged prowess. You can choose one fighting style at 2nd level. You can choose you don't gain them automatically. You can choose to prepare them. Cantrips count as ranger spells for you. Yeah. I can just cutty-pasty that. Copy pasta. You learn 2 druid cantrips of your choice. The chosen cantrips count as ranger spells for you, and wisdom is your spellcasting ability for them. Whenever you gain a ranger spell, you can replace one of these cantrips with another druid cantrip. And your channeling ability is it's redundant that wisdom is a spellcasting ability for them, because that is the ability score that a ranger uses when you cast a spell. They still are overly redundant with their shit. Whenever you gain it's inferred. Like, you don't need to spell out that rangers use wisdom for their spellcasting. It's what they do. When you say that it counts as a ranger's spell, you know that it automatically means that wisdom is your modifier because you're a fucking ranger. You didn't need that sentence. Whenever you gain a ranger level, you can replace one of these cantrips with another druid cantrip. Cool enough. Stack. Okay, so that was we have Depth Explorer and we have Ranger Fighting Styles. That's been resolved. We have the Ranger subclass. We already know what that is. That's resolved. ASI, we know what that is. We know what extra attack is. Your speed increases by 10 feet while you aren't wearing heavy armor. You also have a climb speed and a swim speed equal to your speed. Roving is fantastic. I have no reason to change it, and I can just leave it blank. There's nothing intrinsic about it that would require burning mana to make it better. It's good on its own. Same thing with expertise. There's no reason to change it. So leave it be. Tireless. Primal forces now help fuel you on your journeys, granting you the following benefits. Temporary hit points. As a magic item, you give yourself a number of temporary hit points equal to, obviously, it would be equal to your power die plus your channeling ability modifier, minimum of 1. You can use this action a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Temporary hit points. As a magic item, you can give yourself a number of temporary hit points. That's basically the rally. Rally is a... here, let's go look at it. For those that don't know, rally is a maneuver. And it goes like this. You and one ally you can see gain a number of temporary hit points equal to the total of 1 power die rolled for each point of mana spent. There you go. But what does this say? Is this was this ranger level? That's kind of unique. Maybe we'll just leave it be. No, just your wisdom modifier. Jeez. As a magic action, you can give yourself a number of temporary hit points. Sure. Okay. Decrease exhaustion. When you finish a short rest, your exhaustion, if any, decreases by 1. Yeah, sure, why not? We can just leave it there. Decrease exhaustion is fine on its own, and temporary hit points, I'm fine with that. If you really want to lean into temporary hit point usage, then you can just grab rally. Relentless Hunter, taking damage, can't break your concentration on Hunter's Mark. Yeah, okay, well, we don't need that anymore. Because Hunter's Mark has been replaced with Mark of Prey. Let's go down to Mark of Prey, see if there's a 13th level feature already. Prey. Effects. Level 5. Ah! Level 13. You score... Okay, so here's how Mark of Prey works for those that don't already know. It replaces Hunter's Mark, favorite enemy feature, Relentless Hunter. What is that called? Relentless Hunter? Favored foe replaces the favored enemy. And Relentless Hunter features. Okay, so you get a point of temporary mana that you can use specifically as a bonus action to cast Mark to mark a creature that you can see. Let's see. Hold on. You gain a unique first rank sustained power called Mark of Prey. When you finish a short or long rest, that should be capitalized, you gain 1 point of temporary mana to channel this power. While sustained Mark of Prey, you can use a bonus action to mark a creature that you can see as your prey. The mark can be alternatively, let's see, you can use a bonus action to mark a creature that you can see as your prey, comma, including when you hit a creature with a weapon attack roll. Creatures marked as your prey. Wait. While a creature is marked as your prey, you gain advantage with intelligence and wisdom checks targeting or related to your marked prey. While a creature is marked as your prey, you gain advantage with int and wisdom checks targeting or related to that creature. Your prey. Yeah, we'll keep that language. Your prey. We're going to capitalize it. While a creature is marked as your prey, you gain advantage with int and wisdom checks targeting or related to your prey. When you hit your prey, in addition, when you hit your prey with a weapon attack, you gain 1 point of temporary mana to immediately channel a strike power. So you're automatically dealing, it's a D6 at first level, it's a D8 at 9th level, it's a D10 at 17th level. And then Foe Slayer, level 20, is a D12. You can add D12 to your attack rolls that you make, as well as intelligence and wisdom, perception, survival checks you make against your prey. Now you can add a power die to your attack roll. So you're going to be hitting this shit a lot. And when you hit your prey with an attack, you score a critical hit on 18, 19, or 20. And when you hit your prey with an attack, you gain 2 points of temporary mana that can be immediately channeled into a strike power. And the power die increases to a D12 when you do. And your mark of prey can only be disrupted if you die. Stacks on pretty damn good. We don't need empowered attacks listed in here anymore. So we can clean that up. Oh my god, what a gap. Okay, so yeah, this stuff is, oh, that's right, we have the mark of prey. Then we have improved mark of prey, roving, comma. And then again here. Is that it? Mark of prey. Oh, 6. Thank you. 6. Ooh, 9, 13, 17. Fine. Improved mark of prey, expertise, comma, improved mark of prey. 13, improved mark of prey. Seeing how this, yeah, I remember this now. Precise hunter, comma, improved mark of prey. Thank you, timely timer. What time is it? Oh god, it's only 8? Fuck yeah. Yeah, okay, so all these improvements, apparently I was awesome and lined up all these mark of prey things to correspond with increasing ranks of power. That's pretty pimp. So we need to take that back to 5. Jesus, that's fucking cool. I didn't realize I did that. As a ranger, you can sustain mark of prey while you're unconscious and during a long rest. You don't regain the point of temporary mana while mark of prey is sustained this way. So, like if you take a short or long rest, you don't get your temporary point because you're already sustained in it. At 13th level, you can score a critical hit on a 19 or 20. At 9th level, you gain advantage with attacks targeting your prey. While sustaining this effect at 5th level, you can mark a different target as your prey as part of an attack without using a bonus action to do so once during your turn. You only get 2 attacks normally anyway, so that's fine. You don't have to use your bonus action. If you find your way into more attacks per round than those 2, like using Nick plus, say, a second attack, so you have 3 attacks coming, you would then have to use your bonus action to be able to toggle between the extra attackers. So I'm happy with that. And yeah, if you aren't sustaining mark of prey, when you finish a short rest, you regain the point of temporary mana. When you finish a short or long rest, I don't need to have that listed now because it's redundant. In addition, if you aren't sustaining, yeah, that becomes redundant, so I can get rid of that. Streamline the text a little bit. This is by far probably the wordiest power that I have. Mark of Prey, the class. Jesus. All right, Ranger fighting styles. Dual wielding replaces 2-weapon fighting. When dual wielding weapons, you can use any 2 one-handed weapons you're proficient with or armed attacks or unarmed attacks without penalty, using the attack action with 1 weapon and a bonus action with the other. We have Nick already, but again, this allows us to use any weapon for dual wielding And we get our, let's see, while dual wielding, you can use any 2 one-handed weapons you're proficient with or unarmed attacks without penalty, using the attack action with one weapon and bonus action with the other. You can choose to attack starting at starting at 6th level. When using extra attacks, you can choose to attack with either weapon. And then starting at 10th level, Ranger, when you hit with a weapon attack, you can use your bonus action to also roll damage for the second weapon as part of the attack, combining the results of both weapons together. If the attack is ranged, both weapons must be thrown to benefit from this option. I want to do this one better. You're proficient with unarmed attacks without penalty. While dual wielding, you can use any 2 one-handed melee weapons you're proficient with or unarmed attacks without penalty, using the attack action with one weapon and bonus action with the other. You can use any you're proficient with or unarmed attacks without penalty. And you can add your ability bonus, if any, to the damage of the attack. Adding your if positive to the damage of both attacks. Because normally you don't get your ability score damage to your offhand weapon, including with Nick. So basically, this is allowing you to double tap. And then at 10th level, you can. So this lets you use any 2 weapons that are one-handed as dual weapons. You get to use your normal attack bonuses. There you go. Attack bonuses and damage. Using an attack and then a bonus action for the other. Nick exists, but it requires light weapons with the Nick property, and you don't gain ability score damage to it on top of it. So this is allowing you to melt all that stuff away. Starting at 6th level, when you're using extra attacks, you can choose to attack with either weapon. Starting at 10th level, when you hit with a weapon attack, you can use your bonus action to also just flat out roll damage instead of attacking with your second weapon. And then we've already recalibrated up here, so it's the normal weapon damage plus your ability score bonus to both attacks. So 1 attack roll, 2 hits. And then ranged prowess is the other one, is the third ranger fighting style, which is you can channel strikes through ranged weapons at normal range and thrown weapons at far range. Normally, you can't channel strikes through ranged weapon attacks, and you can only channel powers through thrown weapons at close range. This ranger prowess allows you to have up to far range for thrown weapons, and at no cost you can channel strikes through ranged weapon attacks. So the ranger becomes the uncontested king of ranged damage now. Because normally, if you want to be able to do this, you would have to learn ranged assault, which is a sustained power that allows you to do that. Ranger just basically gets to do it for free. Starting at 6th level as a ranger, assuming that you take this prowess as a power. Starting at 6th level, you can make opportunity attacks with thrown and ranged weapon against targets within 10 feet as though you're wielding a weapon with reach, which is fucking hardcore. Starting at within 10 feet, so you can be adjacent to somebody, for example, and be able to shoot them with advantage if they're prone. And then at 10th level, as a ranger, you can channel strikes through ranged weapons at far range. So you can snipe somebody with a 5d8 strike damage at 300 feet using a long bow starting at 10th level. So yeah, rangers are are a nightmare. And then Foe Slayer, level 20 variant feature, replaces variant feature, modifies Foe Slayer. Thank you. While Mark of Prey is sustained, you gain the additional benefits. You can add D12 to your attack rolls. We already have advantage from level 10 and level 9, and now we add a D12 to the attack roll, as well as when we're doing intelligence and stuff like that, we add the D12 to that. When you hit your prey with an attack, you score a critical hit on an 18, 19, or 20. When you hit your prey with an attack, you gain 2 points of temporary mana instead of 1 to channel into a strike power. And your power die increases to 1d12 when you do so. And your mark of prey can only be disrupted if you die, which means that you can sustain the same mark to track somebody for years if you aren't killed in the process. There you go. So hey, that's all the that's the ranger. Oh wait, I think there's some ranger powers we haven't looked at yet. Hold on. Getting ahead of myself. I think we actually stopped at roving. So, oh no, it was tireless. And let's go to Nature's Veil. That's where we're at now. But so far, this is pretty simple. Nature's Veil. You invoke Spirit of Nature to magically hide yourself as a bonus action. You give yourself the invisible condition until the end of your next turn. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your Wisdom bonus. And you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Nature's Veil is the Vanish feature. As a bonus action, yeah. So that's Nature's... I'm okay with it. I don't have to mess with it. I'll debate whether I want to mess with it or not. I mean, it really is just Vanish. You get Vanish at first fucking level if you want it. It's basically you turn invisible until the end of your next turn. Until the start. Oh, it's until the start of your next turn. Well, this is until the end of your next turn. Subtle difference. Don't get it until 14th level though. So I mean, I guess so. I mean, at that point, you'll really know how often do you use Vanish as a bonus action, because it can beats against Hunter's Mark. So hard to say. Okay, we'll just leave it be for now. Nature's Veil, Precise Hunter. We already have that, so we don't need Precise Hunter anymore. We have the improved Mark of Prey. Already gave that to us at level 9. Thanks. Feral Senses, your connection to the forces of nature grants you blind sight within 30 feet. I don't have any reason to change that. Foe Slayer, we already updated that. Hey! All right, so Ranger's good to go. Cool package. The improved Mark of Prey really just does work. It's basically a second subclass, essentially, between the advanced fighting styles and the improved Mark of Prey. That's some kits of power there, man. That's some kits. But it really just lets the Ranger do what the Ranger wants to do. I'm really happy with that. Let's see. Is everyone sitting and jiving? Yeah. Hey, what's up? Well, I don't want to change it just to change it. And so there is a theme here that's consistent with though. Okay, so we gain bonus powers. You can see here, like at 17th level, 13th level, we're still gaining first and second rank powers. You can learn these powers as early as first rank powers. You can learn at first level, but by the time you get to here, like bonus attack becomes a bonus power that you can just use. So like you could have chosen to learn rally at first level, and by the time you get to 9th level with the Beastmaster, you don't need to bother preparing it anymore, because now you get it for free. I think Nature's Veil and Tireless in this instance work in that same way. Here's some very basic things that are already powers that you're getting. It's a little bit better than what we offer to the general masses. And I'm okay with that. Maybe I'll change my mind about that. But this is an instance, I think, where like neither one of those powers are bad. They're both good, and you get a battery of them per day. So that's fine. But this is an instance of like I don't need to change it just to change it, and it also helps cut down the amount of text that I'm directly just lifting from the player's handbook to drop into this document. Yeah, I think I'm okay with that. So, let's see. All right, so let's go check out what the Beastmaster is now, and how we need to change it. So we'll probably. It's 8 o'clock. I'm going to refresh my water real quick. I'm going to be back like in. Well, I'm still within shouting range, so I guess I could just keep shouting, but. I just need to get more water. So hold on real quick while I grab some water. I bet we'll get through Beastmaster. We'll probably get through 2 of them before we end stream tonight, and then I'll be back for stream tomorrow at lunch, like around probably maybe noon. Or maybe 3 o'clock. I'm not sure exactly. Maybe 3 o'clock. Maybe I'll take lunch at 3 tomorrow, and I'll come back in and we'll continue working on martial powers at lunch. There's only 4 conclaves, so if I can get 2 of them done tonight, then we could probably get 2 done tomorrow on Tuesday, and then when I'm back Thursday night, we can potentially. We can get through the paladin and probably 2 oaths for the paladin, and then on Friday when we come back at lunchtime, we can finish the other 2 oaths for the paladin, and then that'll open up my Saturday to continue working on revising the Warlock for both the Spell Point Warlocks as well as for Pacts and Patrons of Ravnica. I can update both of those books, so that's what we'll do on Saturday. So that feels like a really good cadence. So, without any further to do. Oh, that's satisfying. Okay, Beastmaster. Beastmaster is a great movie from the 80s, by the way. If you have not seen the Beastmaster movie, I unironically say it is an enjoyable movie. It's got cool D&D. It's like a very D&D inspired thing. How much of this shit requires concentration? Jesus Christ. Concentrate. You can only concentrate. You can't. Okay, for every rank of power you sustain, reduces the level of spell that you can concentrate on. So if you're a first level ranger, you could either concentrate on a first level spell that needs concentration, or you can sustain a first rank power. At 5th level, you can either concentrate on 2 levels worth of spells. They could be 2 first level spells if you want, or you can have basically between the 2 ranks of power you can break them up between a 2nd rank power, a 2nd rank spell, or a mix of 1st rank powers and spells, as you wish, or 2 spells or 2 powers of 1st level each. And by 17th level at 5, you can have up to 5 ranks worth of powers, or up to a 5th level spell. This is concentrate, but you can have like a 3rd level spell and 2 1st rank powers. You can mix it up, but the number cannot exceed 5 mana. Whether it's a spell or power, it's still going to be 5 mana. You concentrate on spells, you sustain powers. Powers do not require concentration checks. Spells do. If you fail your constitution saving, if you fail your concentration check or saving throw, then you dump all your spells, but your powers are untouched. So, there you go. Mixing that shit up. As you hit the target, grasping vines appear on it, and it makes a strength saving throw. A larger creature advantage on the save, on a failed save. Restrained until the spell ends. On a successful save, the vines shrivel away and the spell ends. While restrained, take damage. Higher level spell slot, extra damage. Compare that to Restraining Strike. And what is that? That's Ensnaring Strike. That's level 1. And let's go down to Restraining Strike. You deal extra damage, 1 for point of mana. Minimum is 1, so assuming a d6. Creature is restrained. Can end the effect by succeeding a strength saving throw at the end of its turn. Size large or larger creatures roll with advantage. Versus Ensnaring Strike. While restrained. Is that a... Huh. I wonder, is that a paladin spell as well? Or is it just ranger? Oh, it'd be smite, right? If it was a druid, it'd be smite. Right. Ah, but it is on Oath of the Ancients. That's where it came from. Okay, that makes sense. It deals damage. It can target any size creature, huh? A large or larger creature has advantage on the save is mine. Okay, so the one thing so the trade-off here is this requires concentration, and as a result of that, you can deal damage to a creature every round, and the damage is automatic. We do not deal extra damage, but you do not need to concentrate on it, and you can do it for free. Granted, the ranger can generate this for free as well, and it's a bonus action. Ooh. Bonus action, huh? Hold on. As you hit a creature... Oh, it's an on-hit bonus action effect. Okay, I'm cool with that. And ours doesn't require any extra action economy other than just hitting it. This requires you to use a bonus action to cast a spell and dealing extra damage if it fails the save. Ours automatically succeeds, but deals no additional damage beyond the first hit. While restrained, at the start of each, and this deals no damage on hit. It starts dealing damage on its turn. Interesting. Okay, I mean you could take Ensnaring Strike if you wanted to as a spell, because you can generate mana for it as you please. Cool. Okay. What else? Beast Sense, Enhance Ability. Okay. Okay, Object. Pass Without Trace. Silence. Spike Growth. I'm good with all these things. You can concentrate. Okay, cool. Okay. Subclasses. Beastmaster. Form a mystical bond with a special critter, drawing a primal magic and a deep connection to the nature's world. You magically summon a beast. It's a primal beast, which draws strength from your bond with nature. Choose its stat. Block. Beast of the land, beast of the sea, beast of the sky. You also determine the kind of animal it is. Beast of the land, plus your wisdom modifier. Plus 5 times your ranger level. Beast has a number of hit dice equal to your ranger level. Speed. Okay. Climb, I like that. Dark vision, passive bursts. None. XP 0. PB equals your proficiency bonus. Mod save. Mod save. Useful. Primal Bond. Add your proficiency bonus to any ability check or saving throw the beast makes. Beast Strike. Melee attack rolls. Bonus equals your spell attack modifier. Reach 5 feet. Huh. Hit. D8 plus 2 plus your wisdom modifier. If the beast moves at least 20 feet straight towards the target before the hit, the target takes an extra d6 damage of the same type. And the target has the prone condition if it is a large or smaller creature. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm great with these. What's our language so far? Animal companion. Expend 2 mana to resummon your companion with full hit points. As a second rank maneuver, you can resummon your companion with full hit points. You can take damage for your companion using your own hit points while you can see your companion. Your companion can move and act in tandem with the ranger during your turn together. Companion's natural attacks qualify as melee weapons of 1 copper piece in value, to qualify for spells and feats that are considered unarmed attacks, and are considered unarmed attacks for use with feats and other options that require these specific attacks. Rangers and companions both have reactions each round. Ranger can use an action or bonus action to command your companion to take any action, including single attacks. The companion can benefit from any feats you know. So, any feats you know or have prepared. Bam. So this encourages your ranger at low levels to buff up on feats, because like Sentinel, Piercer for a biting dog or something like that. I could imagine like a scorpion, and then you take like the poisoner feat, so that your scorpion, like your dog-sized scorpion, is stinging people. That's awesome. Yeah, I would allow all that shit. That'd be fucking cool. Yeah, you should absolutely do that. And then so you have your weapon be if they're like elemental weapon, for instance, it requires you to have a weapon as part, or like True Strike. You have to use a weapon with a copper that's worth at least 1 copper piece when you cast True Strike. Well, you'll be able to use that with your animal companion to have the animal have the pet benefit from True Strike, for instance, if you were to pick it up somehow. But the reactions can use extra. Yeah, you can use your action or your bonus action. Shared power, 3rd level. So we should call this level 3. Beast Companion. And then we gank some text and fill it in. Restoring or replacing your beast. If the beast has died within the last hour, you can take a magic action to touch it, expend a spell slot. The beast returns to life after 1 minute with its hit points restored. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can summon a different primal beast which appears in unoccupied space. You can expend 2 mana to resummon your companion with full hit points. Or if it's been killed in the past hour, you can instead bring it back to life with full HP. Jesus, how do I make my character your pet? Or if it's been killed in the past hour. There, good. And I just need to gank this language. Combat the axe during your turn. It can move and use its reactions on its own, but it only takes. But the only action it can take is dodge action, unless it takes a bonus action to command it to take an action in its stat block. Okay, let's just gank this, and we'll just code smudge it. Ugh, this is now the wordiest thing I've ever produced. It's not even mine. You magically summon a primal beast which draws strength. Using one of the stat blocks. Beast of land, beast of sea. I didn't need to do that. As detailed in the player's handbook. Oh, hey, good night, my guy. Right on. Sorry I missed that. You're probably out of here already, but you probably bounced when I was taking a drink. But hey, thanks a lot for hanging out. Very appreciated. And I'm glad you had questions in the first place. That's awesome. You magically summon a primal beast using one of your stat blocks. Beast of land, beast of sea, beast of sky as detailed in PSP. You also determine... right on, my guy. Later, Gator. You can also determine the kind of animal it is. Choose a kind appropriate for the stat block. Whatever beast you choose, it bears primal markings indicating its supernatural origin. I love that. The beast is friendly to you and your allies and obeys your command. It vanishes if you die. The beast in combat. Let's see. In combat, the beast acts during your turn. It can move and use its reactions on its own. The only action it takes is the dodge action, unless you command it. Unless you command it to take an action listed in its stat block or some other action. You can also sacrifice one of your attacks when you take the attack action to command the beast to take a beast strike action. If you have the incapacitated condition, the beast acts on its own and isn't limited to the dodge action. Use an action or bonus action to command it to take an action listed in the stat block or other action. You can also sacrifice one of your attacks when you take the attack action to command the beast to take the beast strike action. to make an attack. Make an attack. If you have the in addition. In addition. In tandem with you, but the only action it takes is the dodge action unless you use an action or a bonus action to command it to take an action that's not its own. It's because it's not actually a real creature. It's just a spirit that you summoned as a companion. You gain the following options. As a secondary maneuver, you can expend 2 mana to resummon it. You can take damage for your companion. Take damage for your companion. Your companion both have reactions. Don't need that. Secondary maneuver, you can expend 2 mana to resummon your companion. Or if it's been killed in the past hour, you can instead bring it back to life with full HP. Cool. Okay, great. Got that resolved. Shared power, level 3. Shared power. Period. You can channel strikes through companion attacks, and companion attacks can benefit from Mark of Prey. Your companion benefits from your Mark of Prey, and you can channel strikes through companion attacks. In addition, you can target your companion separately with a sustained power, tapping mana separately for your companion. You can sustain the same power for yourself and your pet up to your maximum rank. You can sustain the same power for yourself and your pet and your companion this way up to your maximum rank of power. For example, a fifth level ranger can tap 2 mana to sustain a first rank power for both yourself and your companion. Period space, blurb, there. Good. Cool. All right, next. Beast. All right, level 7, exceptional training. When you take the bonus action to command your primal companion beast to take an action, you can also command it to take the dash, disengage, dodge, or help action using its bonus action. In addition, whenever it hits with an attack roll and deals damage, It can deal your choice of force damage or its normal damage type. I need to go back up here and redefine any meta power. Depending on benefit from any meta powers you have. There. So that's going to include damage types, masteries, and feats. So good array of stuff. And now we have exceptional training. I don't think it had bonus actions previously. Let's see, because I think it only, well, actions infers bonus actions, so there is that. Beast acts during a turn. It can move and use its reaction on its own, but only action it takes is the dodge action unless you take a bonus action to command it to take an action in its stat block. Okay, so let's word this. Your companion can now be commanded to use a bonus action to take the I hear you. I said I hear you. Thank you. Dash, disengage, and dodge. Dash, take the dash, disengage, or dodge action. In addition, you can now use any number of attacks during the attack action to command your companion to attack instead of making your own. And then level 3, level 7. Shared power. Period. You can choose to channel any exploit or reaction you know through your companion. And then level 11, Bestial Fury. When you command your primal beast to take the beast strike action, the beast can use it twice. In addition, the first time each turn it hits a creature under the effect of your Hunter's Mark spell, the beast deals extra force damage equal to the bonus damage of that spell. That already benefits from Hunter's Mark from 3rd level. This replaces Bestial Fury. When taking the attack action, you gain a 3rd attack that can only be used to command a companion to attack. Companion after attacks qualifies melee weapons. The companion can benefit from any amount of powers you prepared or feats you have gained. when you channel powers through your companion, you can use empowered at different levels. You can channel as you gain levels in the class. Oh, I should probably put this down here. Shared power. Your companion benefits, and you can channel strikes through companions' attacks. In addition, you can target your companion separately with a sustained power, tapping mana, shared power. As you gain levels, you can channel powers through your companion and its attacks. You can use temporary mana generated by empowered actions, in addition to using your own as normal, period. At third level, you gain the following features, period. You can your companion there. Channel any exploit or reaction. When taking the attack action, you gain a yes, this is the way. Dum dum dum. Cool. You can choose to channel any exploit or reaction. Shared power. You can choose to channel and you can choose to channel any exploit or reaction you have prepared. You gain a third attack that can only be used to command your companion to attack. Shared power. Period. You can choose to channel any maneuver powers you know through your companion. You can choose to sacrifice the companion, the extra companion, the extra attack command. And then channel a maneuver as a bonus action through your companion. If you do, reduce the cost you can generate we're gonna drop that. Twin companion. Twin companions. I love this. Period. As a second rank sustained power, you can summon and command a second companion. The power ends when you dismiss the pet or it's reduced to 0 hit points. You can use your attack during the attack action to order either companion to. You can use your attacks during your attack action. The attack action to order either companion to attack. Furthermore, when a companion hits a creature, you can use a bonus action to mark that target as your prey, and to mark the target as your prey as part of the attack. Nice. Shared power. Level 15. Shared power. When you channel a sustained power or maintain concentration on a spell, your companions benefit from the effects as well, without expending any extra mana. Nice. Drake Warden no longer exists, so we're going to pluck that and drop it down into the pit. The next one is going to be Fey Wanderer. I love Drake Warden, but we're going to save that for another book, because we're going to have another book. Clip out Fey Wanderer. And then what, Hunter? Gloomstalker. Good. And then Hunter? Horizon Walker. Interesting. There's the Hunter. So let's pluck Horizon Walker and Drake Warden, Gloomstalker, Horizon Walker. There it is. Yeah, pluck them both. Horizon Walker, Drake Warden. There we go. Restored Peas. Hunter, and then what? Swarmkeeper? Is that the last one? Oh my god, no wait. Where is it? Hunter. Gloomstalker. Fey Wanderer. Beastmaster, you're right. Drake Warden, Horizon Walker, Monster Slayer, Swarmkeeper. There we go. Cut those out. Cut that out. And we can now drop down into the pit. The pit of despair. You don't want to go anywhere near there. drop all that in the back end as we do. Our humble 131-page document is coming along. Where are we at on time? It's 8:45. Am I going to be able to get this done in 15 minutes? I like where the Ranger is at, man. It is sitting so pretty right now. Beastmaster is a fucking monster. Fey Wanderer. Well, let's check it. Okay. Fey Wanderer. We have, well, okay, so we have all these features filled in. Hunter's fucking badass, man. Hunter just basically gets a... You can learn all of these. You get one for free at each subclass level, but then you can learn the other two as powers if you want. And then whenever you gain a level, you can swap them around. God, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, there's, okay, so what, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you get all of these bonus powers plus these powers as well as options to choose from. The Gloomstalker gets 5 spells, so you get 5 powers too. The Fey Wanderer gets 5 spells, so they get 5 powers too. The Beastmaster had no powers, so now it gets 10 of them. So we get 5 spells, 5 powers. Beastmaster gets 10 powers. The Hunter... Hunter, maybe I'm doing this wrong. Maybe I should give them all of these. You can have all of these things when you gain a level. Plus, we'll give you 5 more powers. So you'll end up with 16 powers over the course of your character. Whew, dog. That feels really good. But I think we're done so for now. So I'm going to call it quits here. I'm going to come back on Tuesday tomorrow around. Let me double check my schedule here real quick. Hold on. Give me a hot second. I'll check my calendar here. Let's see. Come on. Computer's being fidgety. There. And there. Checking my calendar here. This should be easier. I don't know why it isn't. What is my calendar like tomorrow? I have a 2:30. Let's see. I have an appointment tomorrow at 2:30. So I can be on. Ooh, I can be on at 12:30. I can be on at 12:30 tomorrow. 12:30 here, Seattle will be 3:30 East Coast. 12:30. That'll be 15 and a half hours from now. So yeah, 12:30. I will be on at 12:30. We'll go through the Fey Wanderer, Gloomstalker, and end with the Hunter. And yeah, we'll take it from there. So I'll be back on tomorrow morning to continue working on Yugoloth artwork. We'll be back tomorrow at 12:30 to do the rest of the Ranger. Wednesday we'll be back in the morning for Eberron art. Thursday morning we'll be back on for Eberron art. Thursday afternoon, I think we're doing some Beckme with Wally and Fred Wheeler from How to RPG, and then after that I'll jump back on here. We'll finish up the Ranger, and if I have to finish up the Ranger, I will, and then we'll get into the Paladin core class features. And on Friday, like I was saying, we'll hopefully get into or through Paladin Oaths, and then on Saturday, and then on Friday at lunch. Friday morning, Eberron art. Friday lunch, we'll continue with Paladin Oaths. And then if we need to spill over into Saturday, finish Paladin. And we'll have all of our core classes done. And then we'll go back and we'll continue mashing through the Warlock and potentially the Artificer. And then this time next week, we'll be working on Power Gear and Creature Kits and Magic Paradigms. And fucking hey, that's exciting. This is all coming together really, really quickly right now. So playtesting is the only thing that we really need to spend some time on. And I like how all the playtesting for 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, as well as 16th through 20th level is already gone. I just want to mess around with some power paradigms and just have a dungeon crawl for people to throw mana around and beat up monsters with. I think that's going to be a ton of fun. There's my timer, so I will see you all tomorrow morning. Thanks a lot for checking this stuff out. If you think it's cool, please do like and subscribe. Jump into my Discord, ask me any kind of questions you have, or ask in the comments down below. In the description down below, there's a ton of books that I've already created. Check them out. Read the free previews if you like them. Consider making a purchase or joining my Patreon to show support. I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Thanks a lot.